What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Central North Carolina. I am Mr. Ferguson. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we are going to be talking a little bit about mowing. The last video, I want to first off say a couple things. Number one, I'm feeling much better today. Actually, the day that I'm filming this, I am feeling much better. I woke up, my stomach felt normal. It wasn't gurgly. It wasn't feeling like it has been the past week or so. So I truly feel like it's finally behind me, and I give God all the glory and praise. And I thank those of you that said a prayer for me. I really feel like somebody was praying because I feel so much better today. So thank you so much for those that remember that. Secondly, we are still doing the contest. Remember to share this out, share these videos on your socials if you would. We're trying to get to 6,500 subscribers here on YouTube, and we're giving away some free things. We'll put it on the screen here. We've got 2 backpack sprayers and we've got 3 bags of fertilizers. We're giving away free. All you got to do is like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like the videos. We'll tell you a specific video to comment on, and more details will come when we get closer to 6,500. So stay tuned. I know some of y'all that continuously watch every week get tired of hearing me say it. I get tired of saying it, but there's new people coming in because spring is finally coming. Today we're going to be again up into the 60s, and that's why the last video, though it was brief because I wasn't feeling well, I put down some flagship. We're going to show you what the lawn looks like right now in a second. We put down the flagship. We got over a ½ inch of rain, plenty to water it in. And so with that flagship, we talked about how half of that is urea, half of it is slow release nitrogen. So it's not a big shot of nitrogen to my lawn. I'm not looking to put tons of nitrogen in the lawn. Some of that urea definitely got taken up by the plant. You may be able to see behind me, but the color definitely changed. It darkened up, and I can tell growth has happened, which is fine because we are now in the 60s and 70s so far. Doesn't mean that here in North Carolina we're not going to have a frost. Doesn't mean we're going to have some dips in our temperatures, but I really feel like spring's here. We've got our pre-emergence down because we want to prevent any type of spring weeds, anything new that wants to pop up in our lawn. We're not seeding. That's why we're doing pre-emergence. And now we've done a little bit of nitrogen and fertilizer in the lawn just to kind of get it to wake up because we're in early spring. And as somebody mentioned, like, Mr. Ferguson, I just don't understand why you're doing FERT now. In North Carolina, it depends on where you're at. Some people may not even got pre-emergent down. They're like, Mr. Ferguson's already putting down fertilizer. Why is he doing this or whatever? Spring is a very limited window here in North Carolina, and this is just my view. You don't have, some people in North Carolina may not see things this way, but our window for spring in North Carolina is so quick and short and fast. We don't have a lot of times where we stay in the 60s and 70s in North Carolina. We kind of zip right up to the 80s and 85, and we're in stress mode in a cool season lawn, and we're basically putting potassium down. We're trying to lower our nitrogen. We have a small window in spring to put nitrogen down, and now is that time for me, I feel, for my lawn, and the results look great. For the fall, it is more where I really go harder on the nitrogen in the fall time with new seed or with the existing grass I have. Spring, you've got a limited window, and then it's like temperatures just creep up so quickly. We start slacking off on the rain, and it's just a different beast. So where my location is and what I'm doing may not necessarily reflect where you are and what you need to be doing right now. That's why we need to follow a lawn care plan. We follow our soil temperatures and what is going to determine where we should be in the stage of our lawn program. So without further ado, I want to turn the camera around and show you guys the before pictures before we mow this thing today. I'm going to get the mower out. Hopefully it starts. That Honda's been great for me. And so we're going to mow this grass. I want to show you the before and show you the after of our first mow of this 2024 season. So we've had a ton of growth. And even just right here, this Jonathan Green shady nooks, you can tell. If I get down like this, I don't know if you guys can tell, it is really shot up. The rain plus the flagship, we got no stripes. It has been so long. This is that first mow where we're going to lay down stripes in the lawn, but it's not really going to be like fire stripes. That comes probably like 3 or 4 or 5 mows later. We still do have some grass that is a little tingy over here that almost looks like it's fungus, but we know that it's not. It's just from dormancy. It's from the frost. It's just from the colder temps we had a while back. But most of the lawn doesn't look like this at all. Most of the lawn looks just a green, healthy look to it. I just wanted to show you guys, this is like looking the best right here, where it's really started to grow. I don't know why this section looks the best, but it's, you can just see the richness of the grass, just the how the blades are looking there, just that color. It's just that urea from the flagship just has made it look pretty awesome. And after, you know, that rain come and I look outside, the first day there was a little bit of a change, but not a major change. But man, I can tell, I don't know if you guys can tell, it just looks bushier. It is definitely given it a little bit of surge of growth, which is fine. Again, it'll slowly release over time what has not been taken up already, but definitely ready to go ahead and start mowing it, waking it up for me here in my location. We still are dealing, look at this, we're still dealing with like Poa triv. I haven't gotten out here this winter and been messing with this stuff, but Poa triv is still an issue, still a problem. And look, it's just a big bush of it. This will die off. If you've got Poa triv like me, it's not the end of the world. It does need to eventually be dealt with, but it will die off with the heat as spring comes in. This will go away, so don't fear. But it's super annoying, super annoying. Some will choose to deal with it, some won't. But you just see that, just the landscape right here, the bumpiness, right? It's like we got some triv that's shot up fast, we got some regular grass that's kind of dormant, and we got some weeds that we hit with Speed Zone over here that probably need to be hit again, maybe after a day or two after I mow this thing. We got some, after all the rain, it looks like up here on the, you still got some other triv that's just popped up out of nowhere right here. Look at that big thing. That's how you know you got Poa triv. It just stands out like a sore thumb. I mean, you can't miss it. It's just a big bush, right? And so it's, yeah, that may be in the fall. What we may do is try to identify some of these areas and kill this off with Roundup or something. But anyways, we'll deal with it later. I'm just not in the mood to deal with it now. Our new seed that we planted is actually in the winter time has come up. Some of this transplanted, this is some of the transplanted grass through here that we took from the backyard and put over here. We're still dealing with some broadleaf weeds here, like this. I think I just missed this guy right here. This one got hit, but it hasn't fully gotten demolished yet, but you can see the results of Speed Zone right there. But it looks like, what I was going to say is, it looks like we had some onions or something pop up here. It's got a little dew on it. It's still squishy too, so I definitely can't mow now. Yeah, little onions like this. Now, if you've got these things in your yard, these little onions, Speed Zone, just hit them and they're gonna just, they fear Speed Zone, or a 2,4-D product. Let me say that. It doesn't have to be Speed Zone. That's just what I like. So it looks like some of these little onions have just shot up, but the growth up here on the bank has really picked up. And again, remember guys, if you've been around my channel, this will start to peel back with the heat from the pavement over here. We got rock under some of these areas. So right now you can tell with this video that our grass is pretty thick and looking good on the bank, but as the heat comes, this will start to peel back. Bermuda starts to come in and we start to have a few problems. But for now, that's why we're more onions over here. That's why we're looking good and thick right now, and it's ready to be mowed. More onions. It's just like the rain that we had definitely brought out the onions. Color looks great. We still got weeds. This is probably the nastiest my front yard has looked in a long time. Not overseeding. It's not thick. I believe the fact that I've not overseeded for a couple years now has led me to why we have weeds in the lawn, because we're not thick, and so we've got some invaders here. Plus, obviously, my pre-emergent has worn off that we did from the fall, so we've got weeds popping up. So, and also I know that because not only do we have some onions coming up here, but I've seen a little bit of Poa annua over here on the edge, but I've not seen any Poa annua in the middle of the yard. So ultimately what we tried to stop germinating was Poa annua. We were successful in that, besides a little bit on the edge here and a little bit more triv right here. Just, man, I really hate that stuff. It is so difficult to battle. And then just quickly showing you guys over here, just the bushiness. It's just, to me in person, it's just thick and bushy, and it's got that urea green color. You can see compared to the neighbors at the property line there, it's just a healthy, nice looking green color, and mowing it is really going to jump start it, get the roots going. This is what, 2 or 3 year old grass, so it's, you know, it should be fine. We got a little bit of yellowing on the sides, and again, it's mushy. I may have to save this, and we may not be able to mow today if it gets too bushy, but you can see the side here. No more no more stripes. The stripes have faded away due to growth, and we just got unevenness and uneven growth. But man, it is so mushy. We may have to just come back and just say, hey, this was a lawn walk video, and do a mow on Friday, but we'll see what it looks like this afternoon. So that's the that's the before, and depending on, man, it is mushier than I thought. Walking on this thing, we may have to postpone the mowing today, guys, unfortunately, and call this something else. Maybe a lawn walkthrough. But we'll come back this afternoon, and we'll see, are we able to put a mow on this? I don't want to put tracks and mud all through the lawn. So unfortunately, guys, it's just way too wet to pull the mower out and to mow this. I would fully anticipated I was going to be able to do that today, and we would show you the before and after and how big, difference a mow makes. But it's just, even looking over here where our Jap maple is, you can just see how wet the ground is, and there's no need to get the mower out and do all that when it's just too wet. There's still water in the ditch up front, so it's not the day. So we'll just have to do our first mow later on. That's what I anticipated. So it was more of a walkthrough. If anything, you can see that applying nitrogen, somebody said this correctly, you're not only applying nitrogen to your grass, you're applying it to any weeds you got as well. So we've seen onions shoot up, and what I may do, we've got a 100% chance of rain tomorrow. So I may this afternoon take some more Speed Zone, just do another walkthrough and hit the weeds that I got, because I hopefully have time before tomorrow for it to absorb, and this time add a surfactant. The surfactant, a little bit of dish soap or a labeled surfactant is great because it sticks to the weed. We don't want to water that in. We want it to stick to the plant, begin to that 2,4-D go to work. So I may spray some of those front yard weeds one more time before it rains tomorrow, being it's just too wet to mow. Thank you for tuning in. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll be able to mow it soon. God bless you.